Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have with me a special guest. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hello everyone, my name is Bayo and I'm the husband.
This video we'll be talking about getting married in Denmark as a foreigner. In May of 2024, we got married in Denmark, and not because we planned to. At the beginning of January, we had started to make arrangements on legalizing our love, and we planned to get married in Tallinn because we wanted to have something very small with our close, an intimate ceremony with our friends and family here in Tallinn. But Tallinn had other plans, right?
Yeah, I think we were met with some, stumbling blocks. I would say bureaucracy here in, Estonia, because it meant that as a foreigner, you need extra documentation. Maybe for Europeans, it would be like very easy and straightforward. But for us as Nigerians, yeah, both of us from Nigeria, and we met here actually. So even though we've been living in Estonia for some time now, it still meant that we had to like bring extra documents before our marriages.
Get married, yes. So when we started to find out about the process, they said we needed like some documents such as single status legalization document or legalizing single status document. This single status document is a document that is like an affidavit swearing that you are single and probably have never been married before, right? Yeah. And you need to notarize that document at an embassy in your home country, and then you need to also legalize or notarize your birth certificate. We went ahead to do this, and then when we went to the vital statistics office, which is where the documents marriage is in Tallinn, what happened?
So we went there, we gave it to them, and the officer was like, no, we cannot accept this. You have to also go to your embassy in, for example, Stockholm, Sweden, to legalize it again. So in that sense, they cannot accept maybe outside of Europe, they cannot accept a legalized document just like that. You also have to get it apostilled again here in your embassy in Europe. So that was another extra money for us, another extra time, because you'd also have to wait.
Yes, and for the embassy in Stockholm, they usually require your physical presence or someone to bring your documents. So you can't like send your documentation for legalization through the postal service. It's either you go there in person or you have someone going there in person take it for you. And we didn't have anyone going to Stockholm or know anyone going to Stockholm at the time. And due to this, we just decided to find another option and way to get married. And that's when we found out about Denmark and how they have this process that I think they started doing it in 2019 to help foreigners get married and limit this bottleneck of bureaucracy that a lot of like countries such as Estonia have when foreigners try to get married. And yes, so we started to process marriage in Denmark, and I wanted us to do it ourselves because there's also that possibility if you go to the familiar said something, I can't pronounce it, I'm going to be putting it in somewhere. I think it's a Danish, it's a website that in Denmark they use to process marriages, and I tried to go to the website. I'd even started to fill out the application form on the website, and then I went online and researched about foreigners getting married in Denmark, and a lot of people kept talking about using the services of an agency. So there are lots of agencies in Denmark that help you process like this work, like it's like a concierge, they call it a concierge service, right? Yeah. But basically it's an agency that handles this application process for you seamlessly. And we had that opportunity to use the services of Marry Abroad Simply.
Yep.
And it will cost you some money, but I think that comfort is key. It was very convenient, and outsourcing sometimes is just the best thing. And in my case, or our case, it was easier because we had already faced bottlenecks here trying to do it in the country where we reside, and it was like a lot of work. And then we contacted Marry Abroad Simply and started the process. For Marry Abroad Simply, all you need to do is go to the website. You find certain packages, right, for Denmark. you just decide, you read through each of the package and decide which one you want or that suits your need, because each package is like unique. If you want to get married in Copenhagen, for example, it's the cost is different because Copenhagen is the capital, right? It's the capital of Denmark, and I believe it's the hotbed. Like a lot of people want to get married there because it's a city. It's more. I've never been to Copenhagen. I'd like to go, and so we decided to go for the Simply Everything service. That's what we call it. That's the first package you will see on Marry Abroad Simply. That service costs 795 euros. It's a lot of money, right? Because if we think about it, in Estonia it costs just the state fee for marriage registration is 70 euros. And you can see the big difference between 70 euros and 795. But like we already said, the bureaucracy was a lot and we weren't getting enough explanation. We went to the vital statistics office a couple of times and we're always met with some, I don't know, they have this, it's not very easy to communicate with some people here, sorry to say, especially they speak English, but not a lot of people speak it fluently. And because of that, you have a lot of language barriers when you're trying to communicate, and some people are not very patient. They just give you information without explaining, considering that we've never been married before. We don't know the process. We only know what other people have told us. And this was one of the reasons why we really loved getting married in Denmark, because they speak English. And in my experience, we met a lot of friendly people when we went there. And Marry Abroad Simply would assign you to someone, a concierge, who will handle your application end to end. And they will communicate to you through WhatsApp. So once you reach out to them, they would assign you someone, and then this person would let you know what we send you the necessary documents, because you still need to fill. I hate filling forms, to be honest. But then we filled an application form, a power of attorney form. The power of attorney form is a form that gives Marry Abroad Simply the right to process your documents, because these documents are personal, right? And you need to give them that approval by filling that form as well. The forms are not long, they are not a lot. So we fill the application form, we fill the POA, power of attorney form, and then you also have some personal forms that you need to fill. You need to provide proof that you are married. The form is the relationship document guide, right? There's a form they'll send to you. You don't need to fill that. It just gives you information about how to tell them about your relationship. So this would include a dated photo, right? You need to send dated photo of your relationship. So if you are a couple that don't usually take photos together, I'm sorry, I don't know how you're going to, how you're going to.
You can use AI.
You can use AI, right? Okay, all the best. But you need to send dated photos, not dated photos. What this means is that if you use an iPhone, for example, the photo you take or you've taken needs to show the date and time, and in some cases location. So if you say you took a photo in Italy, for example, while on vacation as a couple, then that photo needs to show the location Italy. And then you also need to share social media posts of you. So if you are also, my husband is not on social media, but that's why he married me, because I'm on social media and sometimes I post. I'm able to get photos from my social media of us, right? Dated photos, because if you say you want to get married, you couldn't have met someone yesterday and be marrying them today, for example. So the photo needs to show that you've been together. So if you claim you've been together for 2 years, you need to be able to show photos, timestamps for that time period which you've been dating, right? And then you also need to share messages. Yes, I know that this can be invasive, because you need to share messages that you've shared with each other, maybe text messages or WhatsApp messages that you've shared with each other. You just need to send them a couple of screenshots of messages showing that you two are in a relationship, because they need to prove this, right? And then you also need to send travel tickets. I don't know how this would work for people who have actually never traveled together as a couple, but in our case, we have gone to a couple of places together, and so it was easy to provide travel tickets showing that, okay, we have photos that we took in Italy and we traveled from Tallinn to Italy by air, and so we provided these tickets. Once you do this, you send all these things on WhatsApp to your concierge. You also write a letter explaining how you met, where you met, and how long you've been dating. You know, those personal information like, oh, I met my husband while I was shopping or something. You have to write a letter saying how you met, right? That's how you're going to start the letter. The letter that is expected from you is talking about how you met. Either of you can write the letter, right? And apart from this, you also need to take photos of your passport, right? And when I say photos of your passport, I don't need just your data page. This is the data page, right? You need to also send photos for each page. So my passport is 32 pages, right? 32 pages. You need to send photos for each. So if you have 64 page passport, for example, it means that you're going to take 64 pictures, right? And these photos cannot be scanned, so you can't take it to maybe a place that you scan it. You need to take it with your camera, your phone camera. That's like the instruction that we're given. You have to take it with your camera for each page, so you need to open and it needs to show the numbers, right? They don't care if you have visa to heaven or visa to US, whatever. They are not interested in that. What they are interested in is to see that you have a passport, the number of pages, and you need to send them proof of each page of that passport. And you need to do this for the both of you. And then as residents of, we're immigrants living in Estonia, we have a residence permit. Your permit also needs to be taken photos, right, with your phone, remember, and you need to take it each corner.
Different angles.
Different angles. So you need to do it like, you need to tilt it this way because they need to see all the security features of your document. So for example, if you look at my passport, we have this like image, you have this, they need to see everything. So when you are taking the photos, you need to make sure that you have like a clear, you're in a clear place, like a place that has a clear background. You also need to make sure that you are taking all the sides and all the features of your document. And once you do this, you send it to them. They will look through it and let you know if everything is fine. Because in our case, I think some pages were unclear and she got back to me and had me correct them. So I think that's why I really liked using the service of the agency, because they will let you know what is required. Because if you submit documents without doing everything, they will reject it, right? And it means that you will not get your money back. So it's safer to use an agency that will guide you, because then if you have any issues, they'll be liable for it, right? So we used this agency. We sent all the documentations by WhatsApp. We didn't have to go to any like place to scan. I used my phone for everything from the comfort of my bedroom. And once we did this, they submitted it. They told us, like, they are always like in touch with you, and that's one thing I loved about their service. They would always reach out to you and give you constant updates. And then we submitted and paid on the 12th of April, and by the 24th of April we were approved to get married, because you need to go through that stage. Once you submit, they'll give you your marriage license, and then you look through the marriage license. You need to look through it carefully, because whatever information that has been inserted or written in your marriage license is what would show in your marriage certificate. And if there's any mistake on it and you don't catch it, it means that there will be a mistake on your marriage certificate. So that marriage license needs to be reviewed carefully. And once you're fine with it, you inform your concierge, and then you start talking about location. So with Denmark, you can get married in any of the cities that offer marriage licenses, right? So they have a couple of cities that you can get married in Denmark. I think all the cities, I'm not sure. But in our case, we wanted to get married in Copenhagen, but we had already been informed that because we wanted to get married in May, we didn't want to get married in summer. We couldn't get married in Copenhagen because at this time of the year, when the weather is warmer, a lot of people, foreigners, want to get married, and they usually choose Copenhagen. And so we're advised to try other cities. So we had a lot of like options that were provided. So they don't force you. They would give you a list of available like places that you could get married in. So you just need to decide which one works for you. So we settled for Aarhus. Anyway, it's also a city in Denmark, and we chose that because Billund Airport is close to ours. We
Aarhus,
have
yeah.
yes, so Copenhagen has its airport and then Billund as well. So we chose Billund because there are direct flights from Tallinn to Billund, and we got married in Aarhus. Very beautiful city as
Yeah, it
well.
was not also very far from Billund. So from the Billund airport, you're able to get direct bus, to Aarhus, and it was, I don't know, I don't think it was up to an hour or something.
Yeah, it's not a very long trip, and Europe, the roads are good, so you really wouldn't know that you're spending so much time on the road.
And it was very easy to just get the tickets. I mean, talk to the drivers; they're very helpful on the bus. Yeah, and you get to your destination, in one piece.
Yes, I really liked my experience in Denmark. Even though we spent just 2 days, we got married on the 23rd. It was a Thursday.
Yeah.
So we left Tallinn on Wednesday and got to went for our wedding the next day, and then we left on Friday. Yes, we came back to Tallinn on Friday. But also after you've gotten you decided, you settled for the dates and the location, they also need to confirm, right, with what they call those people now, the people who do the marriage, carry out
the officiating
office or whatever, because they also need to confirm. You are not the only one that will be getting married. The day we got married, they were like 3 or 4 couples before, before us. So you would not be the only one getting married, and so they need to confirm that there is availability on your dates and day, right, that you've chosen, even though you've chosen the location. And once that is confirmed, then you can start making plans on traveling, the number of people you want to come with you. Unfortunately, because of time constraints, we couldn't invite our friends. What we did was to do a Zoom link where our friends joined and watched the service live, right? And then we also had two of his friends
our friends
come with us. So very lovely of them. I'm still so grateful, because if they hadn't come with us, probably we wouldn't have pictures from the day. And so because we tried to get photographers, but we couldn't find someone because of the city, and there wasn't time to start making serious arrangements. Imagine traveling all the way from Tallinn to Denmark with a photographer. That would cost us a lot of money, and remember, we're trying to save costs, right? And so very grateful to Norbert and his wife Anna for coming with us and sharing our love story. We're really grateful to you. And yes, that's it. And after the wedding, you get your marriage certificate. You get 2 copies or translated copies. You get one in Danish and then one in English, so you don't have to worry that it won't be acceptable. Danish marriage certificates are acceptable worldwide. At least here in Tallinn, we didn't have any issues registering it at the Vital Statistics Office afterwards. And yes, and then you pay for apostille service. So the cost of the whole application fee plus the legalization cost us 990 euros. You can say it's a lot of money, but if you think about the stress, right, that it saved us, then it was worth it. And yes, we paid 990 euros and got 2 copies of our marriage certificates with an English version, which we submitted here to register our marriage. And that was it. That's how we got married in Denmark. So if you are looking to have a destination wedding, or you want to elope with the love of your life, you can also consider Denmark. It's a lovely place. You don't necessarily need to use the service of an agency, but for comfort, I would advise that you do that. But it's also fine if you want to do it on your own to save cost. And I also believe that some agencies can also provide you, maybe if you want a makeup artist. I had to do my makeup myself that day, couldn't find someone, and you can decide what you want. You can also ask the agency if they can, give you a contact. They do have those contacts, but probably cost you a lot of money. Denmark is not cheap, so have your money ready. But it's a great place. We had a great time, and we look forward to going there probably for vacation someday. Yes. And thank you so much, guys, for watching. I hope that this video was useful to you. Please let me know in the comment section, or ask me any questions that you would like to ask. Maybe I missed something. I'll gladly share. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in my next video. Bye.